It's over, it's done, the battle is won. Hello everybody, it's Tallara and welcome back to Baldur's Gate 3. This is officially our final episode. I cannot believe I'm saying that. After 80 odd episodes, 100 odd hours of gameplay, me and my sweet, sweet owl bear are here in our camp for what is our final celebration. This is the epilogue of Baldur's Gate 3. Hopefully you were here on the last episode when we took down the Absolute, but we are here, and as Asterion said, it's really a party. After the Absolute fell, many of our companions went their separate ways. For example, Karlach and Will went down to Avernus, where they now go around hunting devils and demons. Unfortunately, Asterion is no longer immune to sunlight, so he's just been living his life in darkness. Lae'zel, of course, has gone to become the champion of her people. And maybe the most heartwarming part of it all is that Gladys and Halsin, still in love, retreated to the countryside where they set up a new village and now live a peaceful life out here, sort of where it all began near the Emerald Grove. Super exciting. Gladys is in a good mood. Everyone is in fresh new outfits. Gladys's looks so fancy. She's got this like embroidered tunic on, and I figured it was no better time for a song. Super happy to be here, and now it's time for us to check in with everyone, reflect, reminisce on our journey, and see what everyone's been up to. So first of all, we've got Shadowheart right over here.
Starting to wonder if you'd show up.
Oh, I'm here. Are you joking? I've been counting down the days.
Honestly? So have I. Oh, come here, will you? It's been forever.
Aww. A sweet grandma hug. I told you my tunic was fancy. Look at that embroidery. My sweet, sweet Shadowheart. She's come so far from the girl we first met.
You feel a little more substantial than before. Less camping and scrounging off the land, I take it.
Did you just fat shame Grandma? Are you calling me chubby?
Filled out and healthy is what I was going for. Don't tell me you miss living off whatever scraps we found in crates and barrels. I'm glad you seem well. Trudy.
The feeling's mutual.
I had no doubt. But I'm glad to hear you say it all the same.
Tell me what you've been up to.
I found a little cottage. Abandoned, half ruined. There's a lot of such places to be found, thanks to the Absolute's armies. I've been making it my own.
How are your parents?
Healing. Learning to live again. It's hard to think of all that was robbed from them, but they're intent on making every day count for double. My mother's mind still drifts every now and again, but she has more good days than not so good days. She taught me her recipe for apple and plum pie, and when I tasted it, I actually remembered it from when I was a little girl. Some things can't be taken from you, it seems. Father's making himself useful, helping me fix up the cottage and caring for the animals. You should see the amount I have now. He's been waiting years for this. Now he can't stop smiling. Sorry, I'm rambling. Family life and pastry recipes probably aren't the most interesting topics for such a historic reunion.
No, that's exactly what I want to hear about. I'm just glad you're happy. After everything we pulled off together, a little slice of normalcy seems like just the thing.
I couldn't have said it better myself. Just be sure to take your own advice whenever you can. You've earned it.
You must be wondering what I've been doing this past while.
Must I? You presume a great deal. I'm joking. Of course I want to know. Tell me all.
I mean... Let's tell her we've been living a quiet existence, and you're very glad for it.
As am I. It's well deserved. And I dare anyone to argue otherwise. Hopefully these meetups will become a regular occurrence. It's not that I miss the tadpoles, but At least it brought us together. Now we've got to make the extra effort ourselves.
Don't worry, we'll keep in touch.
I'm sure we will, but let's be proactive about it all the same. We're more than capable. After all, we've faced down bigger threats than wrangling together a few social calendars.
Fair enough. Although the biggest threat may be trying to put together all the social calendars.
Oh, before you go, how does a red dragon plan their day?
Is this a joke? What is happening here?
They don't. They just wing it. Sorry. My father's got years of terrible jokes stocked up that he never got to tell me when I was younger, but lucky for him, I never heard them. And seemingly, I am easily amused.
Pity I didn't crack a few jokes around the campfire then.
I know. I would have been an open book to you in no time. But don't pretend you didn't like the mystery. Go on. You've got mingling to do. I'll work on my punchlines some more.
Wow, it is so crazy to see what a transformation Shadowheart has underwent. Unfortunately, as you can see, she still suffers from Shar. She still gets mysterious wounds. They do pass, but it was just the price she had to pay to save her parents, and honestly...
You don't like me enjoying myself, do you, Shar? What a surprise.
By the looks of how happy she is, I think she made the right choice. She's strong enough to survive some pains that Shar throws at her. Most importantly, she's got her family back, she's got her life back, and I'm just so happy for her. Grandma's so proud. How are you doing, little Scratchy? Scratch got bigger, I think.
There's something strange in your old friend's mouth. What is it?
I don't think that's a ball. What have you got there, Scratch? He's all grown up.
A familiar invitation. He wants you to throw the object he's dropped. But it isn't a ball. It's the astral prism.
Where the hells did you find this boy?
He whines. Let's talk. More throw.
All right, come here. Sweet, sweet Scratchy. All right, come here. I'll throw it for you. Inert astral prism.
Looking for attention, Shar. Pathetic.
I can't pick it up here. I can see it's on the ground. Hang on, I gotta switch controls. Inert astral prism. There it is. All right, Scratch, you ready? You ready, buddy? Go! Who would have thought after all this time we'd be playing fetch with the astral prism? I need to quickly cast Speak with Animals so we can actually have a chat with him. He's just munching on the prism there now.
A familiar sight. Scratch can't quite speak around the thing he has in his mouth.
I'm so glad Withers remembered to invite my favorite companion.
So am I. I've got a nice home in the city now. A girl named Mindy says I'm her best friend.
Oh!
She's mine too. Also you and Albert. I've got so many best friends, I hardly know who to snuggle.
Scratch, stop that right now. Oh my god, my heart is exploding. He's got a new home and best friends. I'm so glad to hear you fared well since our travels together, and I hope Mindy treats you right.
I certainly have, and I always will. Forever, I think. And so will you.
What a good boy. Oh, Scratch, Grandma loves you. Okay, next up, let's talk to our cuddly, I wanted to say little friend, but he's not so little anymore. Our owlbear's all grown up and armored, and he came to our rescue, of course, in the final battle. How are you doing, sweetie?
Friend? Friend! You came!
Friend!
Big brother Scratch, too! Happy?
Stop it right now. My heart can't handle it. He calls Scratch his big brother? Come here, let me pet you. Come here, my sweetie. It doesn't matter if you're 5 times my size. You'll always be my little owl. His little cooey sounds. Yeah, no, this is too much for me. Too much animal interaction. My heart is just gonna explode, I think.
Yes. Miss this. More.
Don't be greedy now. You know, you're a lot bigger than Scratch now.
Yes. Big. But Scratch is smart. Teaches me many things. Like Big Brother.
I'm glad Withers brought you here.
Withers? No. You smell very delicious. Follow smell, find you.
Hopefully I smell more like gingerbread cookies and less like mothballs, but alright, good to know you've got my scent down. What have you been doing since we last met?
Lots. Make friends with a turtle, a cat, a kraken. Kraken eats my cat friend, so I bite, kill. With shiny clothes, I am strong.
Shiny clothes!
Want sleep, want cave.
Good to know that he just killed a kraken. You know, you need someone to look after you. You could stay with me in Halcyon. We've got this lovely little place here where I'm sure an owl bear would fit right in. We're actually not far from where we originally found you with your mom.
Bear man? He is big, but not bigger than me. I like him. I go to him.
Yay! Oh, so Scratch got a new home, but our sweet owl bear hadn't yet found one and is apparently getting up to trouble by killing Kraken, which, I mean, I'm all for. But I'm so happy because now Kraken's gonna live with me in Halcyon. Wow, we literally have a full family. Grandma Gladys, Big Bear Halcyon, and their sweet son, the owl bear cub. Could this get any cuter? This is the perfect end to our fairy tale. Okay, glad to know both our animal friends are doing all right. Now let's check in with our human friends, starting with Volo.
Ah, it's the star of the show. Our humble protagonist who forsook Baal to save the city. Our skeletal friend will be very pleased to see I found my way here, despite my invitation getting lost in the post.
I'm sure that's what happened. Yes, it's wonderful to see you, Volo. How have you been?
Busy as ever. Better that than the reverse, wouldn't you say? Every major publishing house on the Sword Coast has been vying for my upcoming book on the subject of our adventures together. I've gotten quite good at replicating your signature, so you needn't even bother with the release form.
Oh, good. Helpful. All right.
Might help me with the title, though. I'm considering The Hero and Me. What do you think?
I mean, I love it, presuming I'm the hero.
Oh, that would be telling, wouldn't it? But believe you me, my friend, not a word could have been written without you. Perhaps, once the manuscript is finished, you'd even be willing to write a foreword? Or better yet, I'll write a draft and you can just sign your name. Better still, I'll sign it for you.
Okay.
Ah, your success really has been wonderful for my reputation.
I'm
But
glad.
you mustn't let me hog your attention all night, my friend. You've many friends to chat to, and I'd love to listen in.
Oh, Volo, never change. Good to know he's given me so many artistic freedoms with his book. But anyway, we'll just leave him to it. I don't think there's any unconvincing him at this point. Volo's gonna do what Volo wants to do, and the rest of us just stand and wait. Jihiria, my friend, how are you doing? I saw you were just playing a flute.
Well, now. You can make yourself presentable when you have a mind to.
Grandma knows how to dress up. I missed you too, Jihiria.
How nice to be understood again. I have spent the past months bickering with builders and bankers, all to restore the city exactly as it was. Same twisting alleys for purse pickers. Same wooden buildings ready to get burnt by next year's dragon. Same cisterns overflowing. Huh.
You sure you want it to be all same? You know, you couldn't do, like, any upgrades? I heard rumors that the upper city was destroyed beyond reconstruction.
The upper city has been almost entirely rebuilt. That's where the gold is. Even the builder's scaffolds are cleared from the streets. No dust left to sneeze at. Baldurians simply Get on with it. Stubbornness, civic spirit, plain stupidity. Perhaps all three. But nothing I will sniff at any longer. Harpers have come from half the world over to lend aid. Farmers, masons, healers.
That's awesome.
My own son, Jord, has been wooed to their ranks. Already he plans crop cycles in Worm's Crossing. Not so for my daughter. Ryan's rejoined the Flaming Fist. Temporarily, you understand. To organize the craftsmen. Though she spends more time locking up comrades for pocketing aid funds. They might learn a thing or two if they don't expel her. Again.
Kids, am I right? Wait, you have children? Is this the first time we've talked about this?
Ah, yes. Forgive me. There wasn't much time to offer hospitality with an elder brain looming over the city. They ask about you, of course. But I keep them a little too busy for stories. There is still much to do. People to house. A Harper network to rebuild. I may have little love for this city, but so long as my family chooses to serve it, I can do no less.
You're a good person,
But I
Jahiria.
see the flush in your cheeks when I speak of family. Perhaps you mean to start one of your own. Oh, I don't want to watch over a blood match where the duelists call me auntie. Just be careful, Valspawn.
Oh, I'll do my best. I mean, hey, first of all, I've got all the kids I could ever need. I've got grandkids the world over. Second of all, I actually just adopted an owl bear cub, so I do have a son. Look, I honestly, I think in terms of genetics, Ball's line probably dies with me.
All right, Ball child. It is true you are no longer what you were. You have done well for yourself. For all your travels. I hope you have arrived where you want to be. Home. Whatever that means to you.
I think I have, Jahiria. Where we are housing is home to me.
Ah, sentiment. With the greatest affection, I can think of better ways to sour our stomachs. I must inspect the refreshments. You'll never know. Some ne'er-do-well might have tampered with the wine.
Inspect away, ma'am. Appreciate it. Just looking out. I get it. Man, look at how much meat we got cooking. Wait a minute. Lae'zel? She's here, but not here. It's actually an astral projection. Hi.
For 2 months I trained the Knights of the Comet. For 2 more I skewered Kithraki bellies. And for 2 more yet, I traveled through Limbo. I never imagined we'd be standing toe-to-toe on this day, in this place. Nothing but allies, I always told myself. A necessary partnership. But in spite of every strained word, every barbed glance, seeing you brings me even more pleasure than taking a Royal Inquisitor's head.
Wow, that's high praise. So your efforts to topple Vlaakith are well underway then?
We've spilled blood, gained a foothold in the astral, but still we need allies. And one beyond reckoning has made itself known. Zareth Menyaragith.
Zareth Menyaragith? What is that?
Not a what, but a who. The immortal god king of the Githzerai. An exiled people. Once kin with mine, until the madness of civil war ripped our one sky into 2.
Oh, how has this never come up before?
Rebellion to Menyaragith through the cosmos. He's agreed to parley.
That's huge.
It's fallen to me to secure an alliance.
Wow. The enemy of my enemy is my friend, as they say.
Sometimes. But I don't need the Githzerai to fight for us. Just with us. Menyaragith is an ascetic. He reached out in good faith. This is his way. It is in this spirit that I must meet him. He is also a near deity. Should the Githzerai join us, we could topple the City of Death in a red dragon's blink. Should they refuse, I carry on. Gravity pulls me in but one direction. I am the comet. I will not rest until I burn Vlaakith's bones to ash and smash her phylactery to pieces. My people will be free. But you've heard that refrain before. Zealous, bossy, insistent. All part and parcel of my undeniable charm.
At least she's self-aware now. When will I see you again?
Soon. When the comet has risen. When the Lich Queen has crumbled to dust. I miss this place. More to the point, I miss you. I wouldn't even deny it with Vlaakith's vorpal blade at my neck. Though, I'd rather it not come to that. Now go. Mingle a bit. That's the word, right? Mingle.
That is the word.
One day. The Overgod himself couldn't keep me away.
Oh, Lae'zel. Just like Shadowheart, another character who has had so much growth through this journey. At the beginning, like, I low-key didn't like her. She was really mean, rude, brusque. She didn't think anything of me or my companions. And now look at her. She wants to come see us again. She's come so far and has softened up so much. And if anyone could be a good leader for her people, it would definitely be Lae'zel. So everyone cross your fingers that her Grand Rebellion works, and someday her and Grandma Gladys will be able to actually meet in person. But regardless, glad she took the time to astrally project herself here. All right, next up on the to chat with list is Gale. Hello, Gale.
Well, well. Look what the Tressim dragged in. Professor Gale Decarius of Blackstaff Academy. Educator of the esteemed School of Illusion.
Whoa.
Pleasure to remake your acquaintance.
Professor Gale. Okay. I see Mystra didn't smite you in the end.
She did not. I'm delighted to report. She sought me out. Not long after, we went our separate ways, and assured me neither she nor the orb should pose me any threat in the future.
Well, that was nice of her.
Of course, it's still in there. A constant reminder of my former hubris. And a surprisingly effective means of keeping my more disobedient students in line. Perhaps a tad too effective. I spend most of my time trying to convince them how much fun the study of magic can be. But it'd be easier to crack a smile on an intellect devourer than some of my pupils.
Go on then. Convince me. Why is illusory magic so much fun?
Illusory magic has the power to confound the senses, to render the impossible into reality, and to allow expression of that most magical attribute of all. Imagination. Had you the decades to spare, I think you'd prove quite adept at it, as you did in that first lesson I taught you. It was at that moment, the weave connecting us, that I realized how much your friendship had come to mean to me, as it still does. You were, of course, indulging me in submitting to such a lesson. Teaching you was hardly an effort at all, not like my present cohort of apprentices. Oh, they try their best, of course, when they can manage to stay awake.
The cheek of them! Nothing a well-placed swipe from Tara can't fix, though.
Oh, your kitty's with you again.
What of you? What are you making of this newfound lease of life we earned?
Well, I wish I had a flying kitty like you do, but, you know, my repertoire has some truly spellbinding new songs in it, inspired by our feats of unbridled heroism.
From you, I'd expect nothing less. I've told my students plenty of tales about our escapades. You're something of a hero to them, you know? I'd be delighted to introduce you to my current cohort, as a guest lecturer, perhaps. I'm sure they'd have plenty of questions for you.
I suppose I could regale them with a stirring ballad or two about our epic journey together.
Well, I, for one, can't wait. And I say with some confidence, neither can they. Of course, you'll be most welcome to stay with me in my tower. My apologies, Tara. That would be our tower. It will give us plenty of time to catch up on your adventures. I'm very curious to know what you've been up to these past months. But I suspect the telling of that tale would keep you tied to me all evening. So, in the spirit of selflessness, I encourage you to mix and mingle for now, with time enough to come.
It's literally so cool seeing how everyone's paths have ended up. Gale became a professor at a magical university. Jaheira is helping rebuild the city. Shadowheart has retired to a secluded cabin with her parents. Lae'zel's obviously the leader of the rebel faction. This is so good. I love seeing everyone's happy endings. And speaking of happy endings, Karlach, you're alive!
Oh, shit. Oh, my God. He wasn't kidding. Withers, you mad bastard! You brought me back!
Oh, so that's how she's here. Because of Withers.
It's really you.
We owe him one.
I've missed you, you old ball spawn. Oh, do you not want me to call you the B word anymore?
The B word? Let's see. I don't think about my blood anymore. I actually think I haven't killed a single person since we last met.
You're too good, buddy. Well, you did save the world despite getting repeatedly possessed by the spirit of murder. So technically, you're the best.
Wow, thanks.
I'm just so glad you're doing all right. I thought of you often, whenever I could spare half a thought. Surviving Avernus doesn't leave you much time to think. But having Will around has been incredible. Fucker's even better at killing devils than yours truly. We don't have much time to chat, but just knowing he's there makes all the difference. Oh, but hey, guess what we found? Cambion dropped a map with directions and blueprints for Zariel's own private forge. A fucking forge! Our current plan is to get in, grab a smith, and force him to fix old Rusty. Or maybe give me a brand new model that can live outside of Avernus.
No
I
way!
haven't seen the last of old Karlach yet, soldier.
That's so exciting! Oh my goodness. I'm so glad to hear you might be able to fix your heart. You must be so happy.
Trying not to count my owlbears before they've hatched. But the thought of coming back to Baldur's Gate keeps me going. Can I look you up when I'm out?
Of course you can. You had better, or I'll hunt you down myself.
Hey, that would be kind of fun, though. High stakes hide and seek. Honestly, I'd be curious to see if you could land a blow or two. Gods, is it good to see you again. To be here, together. Hard not to get used to it all over again. This won't be the last time. I promise.
Yay! Oh my goodness, it's all such good news. Karlach's going well, and there's hope we might yet see her on this plane again. Also, look at her with her teddy bear. What? She's like, oh my god, I've returned to the mortal plane. There's one thing I must do. Talk with Teddy. Honestly, love that for you, Karlach. That is adorable. God, my heart is so full at meeting all my companions and seeing that so far they're all living great, great lives. Let's actually speak to Tressum. Get some more info from her.
Oh, right. You. Hello.
Hello. A greeting from Tara. What have I done to deserve the honor?
You helped Mr. Dacarios save Baldur's Gate from the Absolute, isn't that right?
If that's what he told you, who am I to argue?
Well done. Despite my old friend's genius. He'd have blown himself up long ago if not for the help of friends like you and I. You ought to come visit myself and Gale when you're able. If you can extract yourself from what I'm sure are very important responsibilities.
I'd quite like that. Thanks for the invitation.
We'll send word by pigeon when we've need of you. I used to have a taste for them.
Oh, I remember.
But many things have changed in recent months. Ta-ta, darling.
Ta-ta.
Have your associates always been so ugly?
What the hell, Tara?
Tara. Never knew you to be cruel.
I said it to you, not them.
Except I'm right here. Well, well, well. All right. Oh, here's Halson. Been looking forward to speaking with him maybe the most. How are you doing, my love?
You would think someone of my vintage would be inured to the passage of time. Yet these past 6 months have seemed endless without your company.
Wait, what?
But now...
But we've been together.
Once more.
What? Hang on. Look, this is a dialogue option. You sound almost sentimental considering we didn't really get along. What are you talking about? We're in love. We live together in this grove. What is going on? Is the game not recognizing that we are in love with each other right now? Oh, I'm disappointed. I was looking forward to having a conversation with Halson about our life together and our plans going forward, and the fact that I just adopted an owlbear cub for us to raise. Okay, I guess I'll just say I've missed you?
We have all pined for each other's company, I sense. I cannot imagine otherwise after what we shared. That bond was forged in a crucible that can never be stoked again, Oak Father willing. It is a bond that can weather any distance, any passage of time. I know it can, for I feel the longing for old friends in my heart each day.
You sound like you need a hug.
I always do. Should I ever decline, assume a doppelganger has taken my place.
Halson the huggable bear. Alright, come here. I think you're a little confused right now. Maybe you've had too much to drink, but we're actually in love, so let's just hug it out. Then everything can get back to normal tomorrow, maybe.
That was more than worth the wait.
Okay. Well, let's not shortchange ourselves, Halson. How about a kiss?
How thoughtless of me. Come here.
Okay, I'm getting mixed signals. I don't know. Are we together? Are we not together? I'm telling everyone we're together. I just literally adopted a child for us to raise, but it's fine. It's fine. I think Halson's just drunk. All is well. I'm going to continue with the lore that him and Gladys are in love and living in the forest together.
There is that. That is what I've been missing. Now, we have much to catch up on. Do not allow me to ramble on. I am eager to hear all you've been doing.
Stay eager a little longer. I'll come back to you later.
Ah, as you wish. Enjoy yourself.
I think you're drunk, Halson, so I'm just gonna... You just do your thing and we'll catch up later. Now I'm gonna talk to my sweet vampire friend. Asterion, how's life back in darkness?
Well, look who decided to turn up. I wasn't sure our withered old friend could live up to his promise. But here we are. And I must say, for someone who had to face down a dark god, you seem to be doing remarkably well.
As are you.
What have you been up to? No relapses, I hope?
Nope. The call of my blood is well and truly gone. Whatever Withers did worked.
I am pleased to hear it. For all our sakes. Not that I was worried, of course. I knew you'd have this under control. But I am glad to see you doing...
Oh, Asterion.
I'm glad to see us all doing well, in fact. Things turned out rather nicely in the end.
They did, didn't they? The last time I saw you, you were running from the sun. So what happened?
Exactly what I feared. Without the protection of our little friends, I was just an ordinary spawn again. Burning in the sun. I fled the dock and found refuge in the shadows until night fell. Part of me was relieved you left so quickly after the battle. I felt
ashamed.
Oh.
Like I'd lost everything. Just as you claimed your victory. I didn't want you to see me like that.
Poor guy. There's nothing to be ashamed
Lends
of.
Perspective. It wasn't your victory, it was ours. And for all I'd lost, I'd gained so much more.
That's right. Oh, I'm so glad he was able to come through and see that in the end.
A whole new life. And it was time to live it.
Yes, sir.
I've taken a turn as an adventurer and hero.
Oh.
It turns out no one actually cares about murder, as long as you murder the right people. And apparently I'm rather good at it.
Astarion, one of the good guys. Who would have thought?
Let's not get carried away, darling. I'm still me. Perhaps more me than I've ever been.
You seem happy. No, I'm not going to say that. So what's next for you? Going to keep living the good life?
Hardly. Good people don't spend as much time lurking in the dark as I do. You know, it's funny. At first, I thought I was trapped by the shadows, cursed to live in them forever. But in time, I realized that darkness is as much a part of me as my fangs. This is only a curse as long as I refuse to embrace the shadows. So, I decided I would. I decided not to be defined by the choices other people made.
Yes.
Other people did to me. My past may be done, but my present, my future, they're mine.
Astarion, I literally couldn't be more proud of you.
Is who I am.
Yes, I couldn't have put it any better myself. Grandma is so proud of my sweet little vampire grandson. I'm glad to hear it. Acceptance looks good on you.
That being said, I haven't completely given up on returning to the sun. If the opportunity presented itself, well, I wouldn't say no. But until then, I am happy.
That's all that matters.
We've had quite the journey, you and I.
You could say that again.
From the moment I first threatened you, I knew you were someone special. Someone to take on the world with. I will miss our time together. But then again, maybe this isn't goodbye. So much as it's, see you later, darling.
Oh my goodness. Wow, this epilogue is just... My heart could not be any warmer. If my heart was any warmer, I'd be like Karlach and it would be ready to explode. This is just... Seeing everyone again... Seeing everyone happy, living fulfilled lives after we saved the world. This is something else. Now, Will, how are you doing, my friend?
There you are, my friend. Breathe deep. Can you smell it?
Okay. Let's try to breathe deeply and take in the scents around you. See if we can smell it. We sure can. We can smell it with critical success, in fact.
You take in every scent the night breeze carries. Sweet honeysuckle, tender violets, and an earthy fragrance you can't quite recognize.
I smell fragrant flowers and a mysterious accent I can't quite place.
Forest trees draped in moss. Bittersweet, smoky, and that faintest hint of vanilla. A far cry from the rancid Avernus heat that's been clogging my lungs. I swear, Karlach and I have felled enough cambions to build a fortress with their horns. Who'd have thought that just one of those fiends held the key to escaping Avernus for good? One of them sported a map and some blueprints. If you want all the gory details, Karlach can fill you in.
Yeah, she already told me. So fingers crossed that this mysterious forge actually gives her the answer she's looking for. You know, I've missed traveling with you. You were a pleasure to be around. I mean, don't tell the others, but you were low-key my favorite grandchild.
I've missed you too. The rush of battles we fought, the heart-to-hearts, the nights around the fire. The comfort of knowing I didn't face the unknown alone. If I had to do it all over again, and I'd rather not, to be clear, I can't imagine not having you at my side.
How have you been faring without your warlock powers?
I think the splinters I made out of the last bone devil I saw speak for themselves. Not to pat myself too hard on the back, but I'm not such a bad ranger if I do say so myself.
Well, good. I'm glad to hear it.
That's enough hell talk for the moment. The night's young. You shouldn't go wasting it. Or wasting any of the wine for that matter. I plan on downing half a bottle myself. Oh, did I say half a bottle? I meant half a dozen.
Go big or go home, am I right? What do we have over here? Oh, there's notices of the Baldur's Mouth Gazette. Oh, cool. We can see what's been going on in the city. Baldur's Mouth. Witnesses encounter vampire spawn and live to tell the tale. Oh, that's great news. Some of the vampire spawn that we've released are controlling their urges and I guess trying to live a normal life. That's amazing. It's been 6 months since the assassination of Archduke Gortash. I love how the common people still think it was an assassination, but anyway. Alturian refugees are refusing to integrate. Alright, that's not good news. Janeth House remains closed off to callers. It's ladies and recluse. And a monument is planned for heroes of the High Hall. No way! Gladys and crew are getting a monument? Amazing. Okay, what else is going on? Volothamp Gedarm's Guide to Baldur's Gate. Bard seeks contributors to newest edition. Okay, Volo is working hard, as we know. Last holdout cultists have been cleared from the Temple of Baal. Great news. Bodies continue to surface from the Iron Throne wreckage. Okay, that's sad news. Not everything can be good news, I guess. There was a lot of destruction that we unfortunately left in our wake. Settlers bound for lands upriver amid claims that the curse is lifted. Oh, excellent! The quote-unquote shadow-cursed lands are going to be resettled. That's great news. They found the structure beneath the House of Grief. This is fun. I love seeing, like, sort of the recap of what's happened in the 6 months since we've saved the world. I think these little details here are just so great in terms of world building and really makes the journey that we went on even more worth it because we can see how it all panned out in the end. And sure, not everything got a happy ending, but regardless, I want to know. The Wave Servant murder was solved. That's right, we helped them with that. Will Ravengard refuses his father's role. Who will lead next? Okay, so they're looking for a new leader for Baldur's Gate. I didn't realize that they had even offered the position to Will. Interesting to know he refused. Duke Stelmane's murderer is still at large. Plainer Plains, city caught in center of Githyanki war. Hopefully they can move that. And then last one, 6 months on. Ramazith's tower is without its wizard. Yeah, that's for the best. That guy sucked. Thorm's army has been dispersed from Baldurian borders. Excellent. The Stone Lord has been killed by a beloved ranger. Harper's out of hiding. Secretive sect has stepped forward to aid the city, but the site of the Foundry Blast is still section off, says the Fist. So the TLDR is obviously Baldur's Gate has a lot of work ahead of it to rebuild, but it seems to be heading in the right direction. Right here we've got a chest called, if I can select it, Chest of Grateful Words. Whoa! Look at this! It's a bunch of letters from people that we helped in our journey. No way! First is the official guild letter to the hero of the realms. We have followed your adventure closely from the day you fell from that doomed nautiloid to the final blow you struck the Netherbrain as it loomed over the Sword Coast. We are but a humble guild who pride ourselves in telling stories, not unlike the tales to be written of you for many years to come. How inspired we have been to witness your feats, awesome and terrible, the lives you've saved and sundered, the friendships you've found. Thus we thought to extend a greeting, to thank you for adventuring with such creative determination, such panache, enough to touch the hearts of each of our number. With deepest gratitude, the Guild of Great Genius. Wow. Next we've got a letter from Art. Oh, to an old acquaintance. I write to you from the sunny porch of the Last Light Inn. A light breeze blows now and then. People are milling in and out, builders, visitors, the children of all ages in Halsin's care. I can no longer hold a quill or eat without assistance. A kind friend is transcribing this for me. Thaniel, rejoined with Oliver, has promised to be with me when the end comes, and as our old songs drift on the wind, ever louder, I know I have mere days left. But I do not fear it. If not for your help, this land would still be shrouded in darkness, and I'd still be lost within it. Know that my heart is full and happy, and I'm grateful for my last moments. Do visit someday, and if you have time to stop by an old Flaming Fist's grave, I know I'd love to see you. Art Culla. Oh, it's sad. I mean, we knew he was gonna die, but at least he's dying with a full heart and happiness and peace. We've got so many letters to get through. Next up is a letter from Valeria. Salutations! I'm writing to request your help in a mysterious case that has arisen since our little Balian bash a half-year ago. Regrettably, I've had to take the credit for dispelling the Ball cult, in your absence, you understand. Oh yes, regrettably, I'm sure. And I'm working on routing the remaining Ballists from our fair city, with the newly promoted Blaze Devella Fountainhead in tow, of course. This has made me a target. A false document bringing my name into ill repute has been made public, an alleged unpaid bar tab at the Elf Song. If you happen to be passing through with a bindle of coin, perhaps you can persuade management of my obvious innocence. Much obliged. Investigator Valeria, Sleuth of Helm. P.S. Any advice on getting Ballist blood out of cloth? My hat's not been the same since the murder tribunal. Jeez Louise. Good to know Valeria hasn't changed. Taking all the credit for themselves and then still up to their ears in debts. I think we're just gonna pretend we didn't read that one. Hey, we got a letter from Arabella. Hey, it's you! It's Arabella. You remember me, right? Bone Man once said I needed to find balance. Where creation meets ruin, where morning meets midnight, the root of all being. Fancy talk. He was right, though. After I touched that idol in the grove, it was like a big tree started to grow in my head, and all these weird thoughts and feelings and powers sprouted on its branches like big black leaves. I had to figure myself out. So I followed the weave, like Bone Man said. I don't know how I knew what to do. I just did. After you squished the brain, Beard Man showed up. Said the weave led him to me, and me to him. He's teaching me how to make sense of all those leaves on my head tree. He says I need to use magic responsibly. He also says not to call him Beard Man. I'll let you know how it goes. Okay, so I think she's referencing Elminster there. He's the only sort of major wizard I know with a big beard. So he's probably Beard Man. So it's interesting to know Arabella is now being tutored by Elminster himself. She's going to be a force to be reckoned with when she grows up. A true master of the weave. Next is a letter from Sebastian. For so long in a vampire's cell, I'd almost forgotten how to write. Never mind what to write. But what can you say to the person who unlocked your cage and gave you your life back? Or gave us some kind of life, at least. After you killed Cazador and opened our cells, we fled into the Underdark. There were thousands of us, a ravenous wave, mad with freedom and out for blood. And gods, did we find blood. We swarmed every monster and unfortunate in our path, drinking what we could. We lost hundreds along the way, some to beasts, but most just disappeared into the dark. It wasn't easy, but eventually Cazador's house spawn calmed us and took control. They found some old ruins we could call home, and we've been there ever since, building new lives for ourselves. We're not free down here. The dark will chain us forever, but we aren't the prisoners we once were either. And that's thanks to you. You looked into our cages and saw people, not monsters. And here, down in the shadows, we're trying to live up to that. Thank you now and forever, from Sebastian. Wow, that makes me so happy to know that all of those poor vampire spawn Cazador had locked up are actually trying to make the most of their lives. It makes me much more confident in the fact that we made the right decision in letting them out. Next is a letter from Floric. Dear friend, I doubted you for so long. Perhaps you knew that already in spite of my best attempts. You proved yourself time and time again, at Joaquin's Rest, in Moonrise Towers, in Worm's Rock, and still I doubted. The Netherbrain's defeat should have proven your courage, yet I was more doubtful than ever. This was a ruse, a dream, a trick. And then one eve, from the elf song, I heard it, singing. A raucous, lewd, tuneless, drunken refrain. I never heard anything more terrible and more beautiful. I raised my voice and joined the chorus. That was the moment all my doubts melted away and were replaced with something more valuable. Hope. Baldur's Gate will be whole again. I might have doubted you, but you never did. With profound admiration, Counselor Floric. Wow. Those are quite some words from Counselor Floric. Alright, next up's letter from the Gur, who are the monster hunters. If you remember, their children were actually kidnapped by Cazador and the vampires. They're writing this letter to Asterion, actually, not to me. Sorry to read your mail, Asterion. Greetings from the family of Ulma, hunters of monsters and keepers of peace across Faerun. We know this letter finds you well, for although we hunt you no longer, we do sometimes keep a watch. Your restraint and control over your bloodlust has been admirable. Indeed, it has been an inspiration for our children who have struggled with their own hunger. These last months have been a difficult time for our people. We have protected and nurtured our children as best we can, and we have learned much. Herbs we once used to dull our foes' minds are now sedatives to ease hunger and pain. Restraints built to hold the undead now protect them from themselves. There's been a lot of pain, but a lot of progress too. Our children learned discipline and control, while we learned compassion and patience. There was a time when we would have destroyed any undead creature, our own blood or not, and called it a mercy. But then we met you. We saw that redemption was possible. Difficult, yes, painful, but possible. You saved our children first from Cazador and then from us. From that, we thank you. We will watch you still, but with more admiration than fear. Walk in peace, Asterion. Oh, Asterion needs to read that letter. That will do so much for him to know that he's doing well. It's awesome. Got a letter from Barkus. To whom it may concern, Withers gave me this address and said I could consider writing. Well, I considered it. Return address included. Best, Barkus route. Wow. Thank you, Barkus. Thank you. A letter from Damon, our favorite blacksmith. Hey there. Would you mind passing this on to Karlak? Thanks a mil. Karlak, if you're reading this, you're alive. One way or another, you found a way. Thank the gods. I think of you often, wondering what's become of you. Write to me, won't you, please? Yours faithfully, Damon. Ooh, Karlak. Do you have a love interest in your future? Perhaps. I don't know about you guys, I ship Karlak and Damon 100%. I want to see that happen. Speaking of Beardman from the earlier letter, here is actually a letter from Elminster. Gale, my boy. Oh, this is a letter to Gale. Gladys is just reading everybody's mail. I can only apologize for my absence from Withers' little gathering. As you know, only the most urgent of business would keep me from indulging myself in his excellent taste in sweetmeats. And your esteemed company, of course. I was delighted to hear that you came to your senses with regards to that cursed crown, and delighted yet further when I learned that the orb's malingering presence no longer poses any threat. In that sense, at least, I hope you feel Mr. treated you fairly. I trust you're enjoying your adventures. I have to say, I struggle to picture you outside of Waterdeep, or your library for that matter. Wherever your escapades take you, be sure to keep your larder well provisioned. After all, one never knows when an old friend might drop by. Elminster. Next is a letter from Nocturne. I don't remember who Nocturne is. Oh, it's Shadowheart's friend. Okay. Dear Shadowheart, I hope that you are happy and well. I must keep this short as I remain surrounded by Shar's followers at almost every waking moment in my new enclave. I dearly wish for you to enjoy your night spent with old friends, and I hope that you and I shall share such a reunion. I know it must seem strange for me to dwell on such heretical thoughts, yet I cannot help myself. Perhaps one day I shall find some measure of the bravery that you did and walk away from this life. Until then, I shall keep safe and hold memories of you as my one ember of light amid an ocean of darkness. Until we find each other once again, yours always, Nocturne. Ooh, we got a letter from Kithrak Voss as well. Githyanki script, Tirsu, adorns one side of the page. The other is written in the common tongue. Shellac. Orpheus may not be with us, but the comet shines ever bright. Breath by breath, battle by battle, Vlaakith's death draws nearer. I have taken to the astral plane, slaughtered all who must be slaughtered, and spread the air's truth to every possible ear, willing and unwilling. Many Githyanki have already taken up arms as warriors of the comet. Others have remained in their enclaves or traveled to Cratius, dedicating themselves to our cause as scribes, spies, and slate scholars. But our allies do not all call themselves children of Gith. Zareth Menir Agith, the Gizarai's the Githzerais God King, has requested an audience. Yes, Lizel told us that. There was such a time I would have thought such a coalition unspeakable, but with the Githzerai at our side, not even the full force of the Kithraki could stop us. If Vlaakith is to fall, perhaps the two skies must again be made one. From Voss, Knight of the Comet. 3 more letters, one from Hope. I had a dream last night. Not that there are any nights here, or any days. It was a dream about you, all of you, and you were here with me, and I had served bread and jam and oat crackers and cheeses and enough tea to quench a desert. You nibbled and sipped and smiled and laughed, and you asked if I was happy. Nobody has asked that for so long that I don't know if anyone has ever asked at all. I didn't have the words to answer, so instead I led you through my house and showed you all the souls that are here with me. They were Raphael's once, but now they only belong to themselves. The archive is an art gallery, the boudoir is a grand kitchen, and the dungeon is a refuge for any wounded soul or creature that finds its way to us. Am I happy? I don't know. But I am Hope, and I persist because of you. Oh my goodness, Hope! Wow. Truly, all of our adventures, all the sacrifices, all the times we went out of our way to help people, it's paying off here at the end. Look at all these grateful words we've received. We got 2 more. One from Nine Fingers. I'm not much for leaving my city, but it does gladden a girl's heart to be asked to the ball, so I'll thank you for that much. In my place, except a few casks of a fine vintage that managed to roll their way down from the upper city in all the commotion. How convenient. The rebuilding has given rise to many such happy opportunities, worth discussing over a more civilized drink in my guild hall if you find yourself at a loose end. Enjoy the muck and see if you can get the High Harper to sing. You won't be disappointed. From Nine Fingers. Last but certainly not least, a harp-stamped letter. My friend, I hope this finds you wherever you are. I just wanted to thank you and ask a favor. I'm to be made a watcher. The High Harper put me forward to the Harper Council for service to the city. I'm not sure what that means, but I know that if it wasn't for you, I'd be back mucking out my mother's yard. I'm permitted to bring one guest to the ceremony who will name me watcher before the council. You spoke for me once before. I understand you're probably busy, but I would be honored if you do it again. I await your reply, whenever you can, but hopefully soon, from Harper Geraldus. Wow, I'm so glad I took the time to read through all those letters. That was so nice. Who's Malil? I was actually wondering. I saw him in the background of some of our conversations. There was someone up here absolutely rocking the loot. Who are you?
Oh, hello. Let me guess, you've got some suggestions about the music choice.
Oh, I don't know about that. The music's fine, but uninvited guests or not, who are you?
You've no idea who I am. Withers couldn't even find a bard that knows who I am.
Sorry, I haven't been a bard for long. Go on then, what's your name?
Milil. Though if the lack of song prayers is anything to go by, that name carries less weight than it used to.
You feel a pang of divine guilt. Musical prayers went out of fashion among bards when Melil, Lord of Song, offended the god Cyric and was ejected from the pantheon.
I'm washed up, I'm afraid.
Wow, hang on. So this guy used to be a bird god? Huh. You guys will have to let me know if we have any D&D fans in the chat or people who have played the previous Baldur's Gates. If Malil is someone of note in the universe, by the sounds of it, he is. Gladys now recognizes him, so she'll say, if I'd known Malil was invited to the party, I'd have gotten fancier wine. It's an honor.
You know?
You're bloody right. It is an honor. Deep down, I knew you'd recognize me. You're a fellow bard, after all. What can I do you for?
Wow, that made him way happier. Nothing. Please carry on as you were.
Fantastical news. Carry on I shall.
Wow. Withers really went all out on this evening's entertainment, getting a former god to serenade us. Alright, is there only one more companion of ours to check in with? Minsk, who is over here literally stuffing his face?
Boo! We are not dreaming. It is our old friend.
Boo, hi! I mean, hi Minsk too, but oh my god, boo! It's good to see you too, Minsk.
Oh, and it is good to be seen. Oh, after so many days down in the dark, Minsk began to wonder if he was some blind bug who had only dreamed himself to be large and bulksome. You will forgive the aroma, I hope. We were not expecting the Dusty One to open a portal to our very cell. Boo had a moment to lick himself clean, but there is a little too much of Minsk to cover.
Hang on, you were in a cell? What for?
Minsk and Boo have been helping, of course. We guard the streets, while Jahira is occupied with harperish matters. The Zentarum rule the city's underbelly, so Minsk and Boo went to give them a tickle. There were harsh words, battle cries, some manner of head wound. We awoke in a Zentish cell, awaiting trial by noble combat. Execution, says Boo. Though I am not sure of the difference. It is a long walk to the gallows, and Minsk still has his fists, no?
I like your optimism. Also, sounds like Withers got you out just in time.
In ample time indeed. So long as the Bone Mage returns us to our cell by dawn, Boo would not be late to the bloodshed. But leave such matters for the morn. Tonight is for celebration and the telling of tales. How have you filled your days since we tore this sticky tyrant from the sky?
Well, I take joy in my new peaceful routine. I've gotten good at draconic tea ceremonies.
Ah, Minsk knows these rituals well. He had to give them up on meeting Boo. There is only so much hamster hair one man can swallow. There is much merriment to be made before the night is done. Go and greet the others. Minsk shall make himself presentable. Ah, this pond shall do nicely, Boo. Though I see no soap. So you shall have to blow the bubbles for me.
Wow, Minsk, don't ever change. I understand now why he's starving. He's been in literal prison, so best of luck. I'm sure that's nothing that the great Minsk and Boo can't get themselves out of. Looks like everyone is enjoying the food and drinks and the live entertainment, and we've got one more person we need to check in on. The person who organized this whole party. The person who still has so many mysteries we have yet to solve. Withers, what's going on, man?
This one night is like any other, and yet different. Thou art the savior of Baldur's Gate, until such time it requires saving again. How dost thou feel?
I'm proud. You gave me a new life, another chance. I did my best with it.
I am pleased to hear it. The satisfaction of one's intention is, to my surprise, a rare accomplishment. Enjoy the revelry of the day. Thou deservest at least that much.
I think I've caught up with everyone. What comes next?
What indeed? Prick up thy ears and listen. The balance of the world restored. The balance of these lives, mortal and otherwise, brought to account. Hear me, thou heroes, wastrels, friends. I have waited long to tell you these words. It is over. For now.
Don't like that ominousness.
Thou played thy part in weaving the fabric of fate itself, but for every thread you sewed, so did the gods unravel another. Sleep, rest, revel, but be ready, for thou mayst yet be needed. Until we meet again, I wish thee every possible fortune, health, wealth, love, and above all, problems worth solving.
Wow. I guess there's always going to be problems in Faerun and adventurers waiting in the wings to solve them. But for now, to the greatest friends I could dream of.
To you.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That's it. The end of Baldur's Gate 3, and what a journey it was. This was an amazing game. I can see why it kind of cleaned up at the Game Awards last year when it was released. Just the level of technical fidelity it takes to make a game that's so big, so long, and has so many different choices for a player to take, whether it's choices in story or choices in gameplay. This game really lets you craft the experience, and I really hope you enjoyed the experience that me and Grandma Gladys crafted together. It's so nice to see that everyone had a happy ending at the end of the day, and as we go through the credits here, you can see all the people who worked so hard to bring this game to us. It's my understanding there is one more scene after the credits. Let's see if I'm right. Here it is.
Thou art, the dead three. Thy faces gods, thy actions barely worthy of the name. Didst truly believe thy ploy would succeed? Didst believe I would not notice? Thou soughtst to bolster thy strength by taking away the souls of mortals. But souls vanish when their hosts become mind flayers. Didst think the other gods would not notice? Gods thou may be, yet thou hast proven thyself fool. Everyone. The supplication of Bane, the whimper of Baal, the death mule of Merkel. Felled by mortals, I overestimated thee. They did not. Vermin, away. Thou wilt trouble us no more.
What an interesting scene. Who is Withers, really? That's really the only question left unanswered at the end of this game. I don't know who he is, but he was clearly an instrumental part of our journey, and wherever the Baldur's Gate series goes, perhaps we'll see Withers yet again. For now, though, everybody, this is officially the end of our Let's Play series. Thank you so much for coming along on this journey with me. I appreciate all of the support so much, and hopefully I'll see you guys back here on the channel sometime soon for another series, and if not, thanks again for watching.